This right here is called Her Favorite Oppa series, where I will be answering your questions. Alrighty then, let's get started. Alright, so the first question is, what do you think about long-distance relationships? Well, first off, I just want to say I definitely think it does work for some people. I mean, let's be real, it's 2014 and a couple of weeks until 2015. How are you gonna tell me that you were born in a certain place and that's the only area that you'll ever find your lover? How are you gonna tell me that? Alright, take a knee, let's think this one through, alright? How are you gonna limit yourself with love, especially such a big concept as love, to just your surrounding area? For all you know, your lover, your future husband, he could be living somewhere down in Georgia by himself, wondering the same thing where his future wife may be. And before we go any further, I just want to apologize for my tan line. Do you see, like, my goggles tan line? It starts right here and... okay, I'm sorry. That's how you know, no makeup. However, I do acknowledge the fact that long-distance relationships are not an easy bond for two people to just handle and manage. There are ingredients to a successful long-distance relationship, just like the ingredients to bibimbap. However, instead of kimchi, these include trust, communication, and being independent. Trust. I mean, obviously, if there's none of that going on, then a long-distance relationship just can't happen, because trust is the glue that holds the whole component together. Second, communication. The fact that you guys live far apart from each other, because, you know, you're in a long-distance relationship, I think every email, phone call, and Skype session, they're just that much more special. And they're gonna be a lot more personal and beautiful. I know, you're thinking, Woojong, you're crazy, but just hear me out. The people that date each other and live near each other, they get to see each other like every single day, or like every other day. And alright, that's pretty cool. However, for people that are in long-distance relationships, communication should have a deeper meaning between the two. So if you want to do a long-distance relationship, never, and I mean never, neglect communication. And finally, being independent. If you're gonna get in a long-distance relationship, both of you, and yes, I mean both of you, better be independent. Alright, you may beat the odds, but more likely than not, it just won't work. And yes, I'm about to explain myself. If both of you are independent, then y'all are gonna be living a busy, fulfilling life, which is a good thing. The reason why I say that a dependent person is a flaw of a successful long-distance relationship is because to that dependent person, their boyfriend or girlfriend is all they have, or is, you know, everything to them. And they're going to be very needy and attention-driven. For instance, like, oh my gosh, I just texted him and it's been 20 minutes, why hasn't he replied? Like that kind of needy. You know, like, look at me, look at me, look at me only. So, it is very important that both of you guys are independent. Now do you see my point of view? So how do I feel about long-distance relationships? I'm open-minded to it. However, I fail one of my 3 ingredients, communication. Because half the time, I'm in the woods and we're not allowed to bring our cell phones. So if you're willing to be understanding of that, then maybe it can work out. Okie dokie, on to the next question. Amos, do you really think you're not attractive? Did you have an experience that made you think like this? This topic is kinda... it's not sensitive or anything, it's just... honestly, alright, I'm not fishing for compliments. Personally, I think I'm pretty average. So I'm not saying I'm ugly, but I'm also not conceited and saying I'm good looking. I think I'm pretty average. But it doesn't stop there. Have you ever heard of the story of, like, the ugly duckling blossoming into, like, a beautiful swan? Because growing up, I was never really good looking. I was always just, you know, a little ugly, and I started making YouTube videos. I noticed in the comment section, all y'all thought otherwise. So, to me, it's still a fairly new concept that I'm not ugly. But hey, I'm perfectly okay with the way things worked out, because I'm sure you know someone who was absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, like in high school or whatever, and it's just been a downhill trend from there. So yeah, I still think I'm pretty average looking, but I think my personality makes up for it. Or maybe it's because I went to all the couple hotspots in Seoul, and I was alone, single. So maybe that's why I think that concludes this segment of Her Favorite Oppa series. So if you liked what you just saw, then please, by all means, let me know down below. And if you have a burning question you want to ask me, then ask that below too. And maybe you'll be in the next segment, if enough of you guys actually like this. And if you didn't, don't worry, I'll be making a new video here in the next week or so. That is not like this. Okay, take care.
Part-time, I'm sideline 없는 지혜 앉아있기만 해 bottom 뭘 마셔야 해 그래 그걸로 줘 Cause it's red 음악 바뀌었네 uptempo 그래도 난 예전에 downtempo 악수